50+ stunt was the team, and they made top 4 of the playoffs this last time. And now with Ryu joining the team, with Anda coming down to maybe split time, lots of potential for 100 Thieves Academy to go even further with the players that they're starting to nurture and grow.
Yeah, absolutely. Even in academy level, you're going to benefit from having multiple people in multiple roles, pushing each other to be better, trading tips back and forth. And if somebody's not feeling it, your buddy can come in and pick you right back up. I think that when we can start looking at a player on the bench as part of your team and as an ally, a team can start to grow as opposed to a direct competitor for my spot.
Well, we'll see what happens here in Champ Select, because there are 4 bans through: Yuumi, Rise, Aurelia, and Aatrox, continuing with pretty much all the trends that we've seen today.
Yeah, but the one thing I want to look out for the most is that we get Ryu versus Crown. We've never seen this matchup in the LCK. They never met. So this is the one time where they get to see 2 Korean legends facing off in LCS Academy.
Where else could LCS
Where
Academy,
else
as
did it happen?
Silas's ban and Jace will be pretty much insta-locked there for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, so that's probably going to be your Jace top. Ryu can play it in the mid lane, but Fake God, obviously very competent here. And going up against Alarim, you know he's not going to take Wukong into this one. That is way too hard.
Again, if anyone's going to know which matchups you could possibly play Wukong in, it will be Alarim, but not sure there's too many, as we'll see what the first 2 picks are. Dardoch also potentially going to move up and down between the teams as well. But there's Xayah going to be the first lock-in, and Rakan, hey, joining right beside it.
It's the safest red side 2 picks you can get. There's really, it doesn't get easier than that. You guarantee your bottom lane. You're not going to have any bad matchups. You have great engage, great disengage. So there's never any complaints when somebody locks in Xayah or Rakan. And when you're up against a Jace, hard engage is really important because you don't want to get poked down way too much. Otherwise, you don't even have a shot at engaging.
Well, bottom lane also the answer here for 100 Thieves Academy. Kai'Sa and Galio will be locked in. As we'll see what OpTic's 3rd pick overall will be.
That's a very explosive team. Kai'Sa can ult in with Galio as well, and Jace can be really speedy towards you after hitting some poke. So they have a nice mix of poke and engage so far. And I want to see the rest of the team and where do they come in? Do they assist the engage or do they go more towards the poke? Because I think engage will have to be the answer, because when you're up against Jarvan and Rakan, you don't have a choice. You're going to be fighting.
We've seen so much team fighting today. I don't think that's really going to stop anytime soon. Jarvan, as you mentioned, is the 3rd pick here for OpTic. Always been a mainstay jungler. I think will continue throughout this metagame here, so no surprise to see a lot of that pick. And you mentioned this already, Rek'Sai generally does quite well into the pick, so I like the ban here as well.
Yeah, making sure that Jarvan has an advantageous matchup, and I think that what Dardoch would hope is to have Anda be playing a tank. If you can have Jarvan into Sejuani, you're going to be so happy with that matchup. Sejuani's not going to be able to take you down, and you have free reign in the early game to make things work. Yes, you do get outscaled, but you always have that playmaking potential, so I think that that's what Dardoch wants to focus on, and the Elise ban, I think, continues to play that narrative. Another early game champion that can put a wrench in your plans if you're Jarvan.
Well, there's on the other side there for 100 Thieves Academy, away from probably Alarum. Actually, almost definitely, with Rakan already picked up. And last ban is Lissandra, definitely a mainstay champion of crowns from last split.
So that might be that they're thinking about a LeBlanc in the mid lane for Ryu. It would be a solid blind pick, and that is definitely a flex pike. Again, that could be pike in the mid lane. So let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Indeed, it is the LeBlanc not wanted to go up against Lissandra, which would be a nasty combo with Lissandra and Jarvan.
Yep, so nice read there. Ryu, again, a pick that he's played for many, many years of his career. So certainly comfortable there on LeBlanc. See what the last pick is here to round things out. Need a jungler. Never want to shy away from a Lee Sin, and that will be the pick.
Very nice. I love that you take the Lee Sin because Dardoch has clearly said, and OpTic, I'm not going to say Dardoch, OpTic has clearly said we want to have an early game jungler with an advantageous matchup, get rid of all the other early game champions, and then you put Lee Sin on the Jarvan's opponent. You make him the opponent. And because Lee Sin is just as strong as Rek'Sai and Elise in the early game, you're now fiddling away to the strategy that OpTic wanted to have, except there's one caveat. Lee Sin is completely execution-based, so now it's going to be a matter of how good can Anda be on Lee Sin. And we think he's been pretty darn good mechanically. It's a matter of can he prioritize objectives and get the right kicks.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think Anda, when he burst onto the scene, was an obviously talented player. I think Lee Sin fits a lot of these up-and-coming jungler feels. I mean, we looked at Speaker last game. Certainly someone we know is very mechanically strong, but learning the ropes, as Ablaze said in his interview, certainly something that every player has to go through here in Academy. Last pick, though, is Corki. Crown thought about the throwback there to Malzahar, which was good enough to win him a world championship, but instead goes for more of the carry.
Is that a flex against Ryu? Like, check this out. Look at what I got. Look at what I got. There's a skin here. I don't think he has a Malzahar skin. I think it's another champion, though.
Ooh, it's Tilia.
Right. 2 people play Tilia,
Great.
And it's junglers.
Yeah. Oh, gone are the days of Tilia mid. Well, not time to cry about it now. We'll have a look at our final game for today's Academy broadcast here. 100 Thieves versus OpTic.
All right, we've got Crown with the Corki, and he's been pretty good with it in the LCS. Being able to farm, outscale many of his opponents, and it's kind of the right fit for him because you know he's always going to do well in lane, guarantee him to get that CS, and he's not going to hard smash the lane and carry, but when you have a Corki, you guarantee him being super relevant in the later stages of the game and getting some big packages off.
Some kind of invade trading happening here is with the top pike that Alorum is playing here. It does have the spellbook, I believe. Definitely looking to kind of absorb pressure from the Jace early rather than get aggressive, which is certainly what we've seen. We have seen top pike, much more of a skirmishy mid-game sort of pick. But no invades, no success as far as getting summoners or any sort of aggression at level 1. So instead, just going to fan back out and go to their lanes.
And so much about Pike Top is about execution, about having
literal and figurative execution.
Yes, about actually having played this champion, and even your laners have to have a good understanding for what on earth Pike does, because everyone's used to him being a support, but what happens when you start giving him gold? And what I've seen is that he does so much damage when he gets that Tiamat, when he gets that Duskblade. So this Pike matchup from Alorum, I love that he actually has this pick because the build is super similar to Wukong. So he actually should have a really good understanding for what a physical bruiser like Pike does. So I have high hopes for Alorum's Pike.
Like I said, he was always a player that played a lot of different off-meta stuff. And that was true when he entered Academy as well. So I'm happy to see him play something like this Pike, but we'll certainly see how it works out for him and the rest of OpTic Academy, as this certainly is the kind of headliner matchup between these two teams, Ryu and Crown doing battle.
This matchup is so iconic, I wouldn't be surprised if Faker's out there watching right now.
Hi! Hope you're enjoying the stream. As Ander on the Raptors here after the red. Actually done Krugs as well, so full clear red side there for the lead. And Dada 2 camps on the red side over to his wolves right now. So pretty standard, safe, farm-heavy stuff for these junglers early on.
Yeah, no early shenanigans, although Jarvan just completed his level 3, so he's going to be ready to look for some action. And bot lane looks to be a nice place to gank with the wave pushing up. Let's see if Prismal and Stunt can afford to push and get a ward first, because Jarvan has now started looping around. He'll grab that Scuttler, but opts to go for mid lane instead.
Alorum getting pushed in by Fake God Jace here early, but again, Pike is not a particularly robust 1v1 laner. They're just going to dip back out of vision and get some of that health back there with the W passive.
So Pike's supposed to be a pirate, right?
I don't know.
All right.
That is not lore that I am intimately familiar with. Well, if he was a pirate, what would...
I don't know. He seems like something that would stick to the bottom of your boat, not really a pirate.
I'm sure there are, like, submarine pirates, Crumbs.
All right, let's see. Will Anda and Fake God go for a dive onto Alorum? This seems like a bit of a tricky one. He's got a lot of CC and mobility, so he's not the easiest guy to go after.
That's going to clear the rest of this wave as well. Good poke there from Fake God, but I think Alorum will at least fade the dive for now, but that CS lead looking nice. About 10 up for Fake God currently.
Yeah, it's a brutal matchup. It's probably the worst matchup that Pike could ever have when you're up against Jace. The only benefit is that Jace is squishy enough that with a gank, you are going to be able to start executing him, start being able to do some damage back.
Good taunt there by Stunt after the Justice Punch, but knock up there from Gate. And Asta with the feathers, actually Ignite down. Stunt's going to be forced to flash away. Wrong end of that trade there for the Galio.
That was a really nice counter engage out of Gate, and that's what we saw in game 1 out of Joey as well. The counter engage from the Rakan being so strong, and that just might be the forte of this Saya Rakan lane. Everyone thinks, oh yeah, you can go ahead and engage, but then Asa lays down a few feathers, Gate sees the opportunity, and all of a sudden you're locked down for quite some time, ignited, and forced to flash.
Yep, they were literally made to be together.
Aw.
So, makes sense that pretty effective lane. As you mentioned, also very safe to pick early, so OpTic feeling good about the early stages of the bottom lane. Looks like Prismal also going to take it back, and no TP anywhere here in the 2v2, so might be a long walk back as Prismal reconsiders. He's going to stay in the lane to collect a few more farm. As Crown and Ryu still doing battle, but for the most part, almost every Corki lane feels about the same. Just farm, try not to die, hit level 6, and Ryu is going to try, you know, make you pay a little bit.
Yeah, so he's about to run out of mana, does not have any more corruption or charges of the corruption potion, so not a lot to do out of Crown here. He's going to ding 6, Ryu will hit ding 6 after the minion, and back to shoving the waves.
Faker though, first to TP here, so holds on to that CS lead, but Alorum goes back, double longsword rejuvenation bead. Looking for that Tiamat early, as you mentioned, Crumbs.
You need that Tiamat. It's what's gonna let you farm faster, push back the wave. That way you lose less gold to plates. That way you can actually punish if someone is to roam. It's just an overall great item for champions that have a hard time pushing.
Gate's taking that first recall and actually joined up with Dardok here. So Anda might not feel so hot as this Dardok Crab. Mike goes over, Anda does get the objective, but could cost him his life as Gate here looking for the knockup is going to force the flash.
Greedy out of Anda, utilizing his safeguard on himself to try to get that extra lifesteal. So he pays with that with a flash. That's a really bad time to use your flash when you're about to hit level 6. You can't do an insect play anymore.
Yeah, tough to make it work here. As Anda just going to go back towards his jungle and keep farming up. First bit of pressure does go to Dardok with a bit of help from Gate. Curious to see if either jungler wants to get more active, Dardok especially, given that he does still have his summoner ready. Gate also going to meet Stunt and Prismal down here in the bottom lane, but not too worried. Just going to go ahead and rejung with Asta. Again, extra long ranger on the E means that Rakan always feels safe next to Zaya.
All right, so Alorum just hit level 6 on the Pike, and he switched over to an Ignite. So this is a very deadly Pike now that I hope we get to see Dardok pay some attention to the top lane, because with a Jarvan and a Pike, I feel like even against a Jace with Flash, you should be able to net yourself a kill. If he can hit the hook, hit the flag and drag, and then you always have the ultimate to follow up from the Jarvan to lock him down. I think that there are kills waiting to be found at the top lane.
Crown somehow gets away with not getting chained there, but he's getting bullied here by Ryu. Hexdrunk is helping out for the Corki here. Nice start. Respectful itemization out of Crown to make sure LeBlanc can't blow him up. And Crown actually farming nicely in the CS lead, despite the pressure that Ryu is dishing out.
Look at this laner. Can't believe this is a top laner now.
I can. This is great. Can't wait to see more Pike solo.
No, because it spills over into solo queue. That's the problem. We're okay with Pike top. It's just a matter that then our games have Pike top.
You don't want Pike top in your game?
Actually, I do.
There you go. See?
Yeah, because you know that someone's going to...
As a jungler, I feel like you're like, man, if I gank this lane and he gets the kill, I get extra gold.
Yeah, okay. Keep telling me the sweet words of money.
Here is. As Ryu going to go ahead and grab the blue buff donate here from Anda. Gonna kind of slow going though. I think the games have progressively gotten a little slower throughout the day. Had all the hypey teams at the top of the billing.
Yeah, but we still have hypey comps though.
Absolutely. And, you know, even if the early games are a little bit more, you know, slower, more reserved in the laning phase, let me tell you, the mid games in League of Legends today are awfully fast. As Crown, nice for him down to the bottom side. Gate looking for the knockup, but a taunt from Stunt into the Justice Punch. Gonna call that play off. He does get out from under the turret, and Prismal will actually get first blooded here. And now Dardoch into the top side. That's the Dunkaroonie! And Alorum gets the kill.
A cross-map play out of OpTic with no answer from 100 Thieves. This is so rare. You typically see OpTic going for a play bottom, and you would expect that the top side would be in 100 Thieves' favor. But instead, they get to pull a move from everyone. They just punched with both hands at the same time, and we're not punished by it.
And as you mentioned, if they can get into the top lane and combine well, they'll probably kill the Jace even if he has flash. And Fake God still has flash.
He didn't even use it. The play was so easy, but this one was great because you look at what Crownly is doing. He then utilizes the package to break him up, and Prismal flashes back into it. He might have died to the Ignite, to the package tick, but the fact that Asti secures it is nothing to complain about because now your AD carry is even further ahead. Ryu roams down. Not a big deal. Just really well timed by OpTic, and the fact that Fake God died in the top side is an added bonus.
Certainly always nice to put the Jace a little bit further behind, although the 20 CS lead is still nice there for Fake God. Gate now also with access to the quickness, so next play that he looks to make will be even more effective now that that ultimate is at the ready. Crown trying to take down the ward, does have friends behind him, so turns around and starts to shoot Ryu. Chain gonna land though. Crown will be forced to Valkyrie away. Gate's Guardian will proc as well. Looks like Cloud Drake maybe is the consideration here for OpTic.
Yeah, they really want to control this bottom lane, and that is surprising to me because, like I said, I think that there are just so many easy kills in the top lane. There's no vision out of Fake God here. The guy doesn't have teleport. He's just warding right about now, so a lot of opportunities. Instead, they're going on to Anda.
Yep. Elio is going to proc in. There's the Cataclysm of Jarvan. Good counter kill. Are going to eventually take the Jarvan down, but Crown already got the first one. LeBlanc able to grab the next as Ryu is the recipient, but now Stunt maybe caught out of position. Fetters not going to find the root, but he pops the stopwatch anyway. Prismal though, time to roam up. Will make his way in onto Asta. Featherstorm ready, does pop it. Taunt is there, good flash as well. Here's Alorum, can collect it all here if he can find the ulti chain. So I'm going to be the first target, but he does miss the X.
That was so close and dangerous too. The fact that the fight started with so many ultimates being burned meant that OpTic had to retreat, and Fake God not able to find much out of that one. His serrated Dirk, not enough to threaten anybody else. Fully committing for that play, and top laners will return now to the top side. Fake God gets that little plant, a little honeydew, and we'll be back to full HP and mana.
At least OpTic, who kind of came down here to start off this Drake, are going to get up by the looks of things. So up in kills, up in gold, and now going to be up in Drakes as well. OpTic early game going pretty nicely.
Yeah, so far so good, and the greatest next level thing about that is that Jace doesn't have flash now. Let's take a look at how this play started up, because Dardoch goes onto Anda, hits the combo right away, all is great, but this was sick. The kick into the knockup, because I don't think Galio's ultimate would have actually connected onto Dardoch, so he gets CC'd even further, and then the top laners start arriving. Prismal gets a little bit of damage, but since nobody died, we don't need to see that. It wasn't that exciting. Yeah. This is more exciting, where there's more items and more at stake.
If there'd been like a chain quadrupike, then obviously we would have gone to that, but unfortunately Alorum couldn't quite line up the first execute. Does have the Moby boots now as well. Again, I feel like you're more in top lane just to get a bit of extra gold and really pump up the power of the pike, but you're really not looking to do any sort of 1v1 here.
Yeah, you know, I'm getting the feeling that when I see pike players, I see what Darius players dream, like self-image. This is what a Darius player thinks of themselves. Like, oh yeah, just get in there, get all the executes, get all the resets, start just massacring. I just don't like Darius players.
And there are quite a lot of them as well.
There's so many.
Crown there. Congrats on by Ryu. Good combo. And they're going to follow in. Crown there with the ult proc. Not enough as the skirmisher's Saber smite enough to finish him off.
So much damage there between LeBlanc and Lee Sin. It's one of the deadliest combos to ever exist in the mid and jungle. It is so difficult to win a 2v2 against those two because their burst is crazy and their mobility is even nuttier. So really well done by them. The fact that they're at least able to win a skirmish there means that they have some practice or at least a good understanding of what their champions can do together.
Going to convert into this Rift Herald as well. By the looks of things, Dardoch is here to try and challenge, but it's a pretty unfair fight. The Gate is now going to team back up. Alorum is also ready in the top half of the map. Starting with his ult, he can also join from pretty far away. The Herald's going to leash. 100 Thieves going to just give it up for now.
It's always dangerous with Pyke around because you just need to focus one person and they get eliminated right away with a potential to reset on you. So the fact that Pyke gets to just push out and then sneak away with the Moby boots, you just never know what angle he's going to strike you from. If you're not 100% on the fight, there's no need to risk it. This Herald is not going to net you any gold anyways.
Crown also with the package. Able to get back out on the map nice and quickly. Still working on that Trinity Force, but able to push pretty comfortably and still maintain that CS lead. They're going to join up with Dardoch as they continue to try and find pressure points. Still a pretty contained map though, with no turrets falling just yet, so plenty to play for still here in the early game, which has gone a little bit more deliberate of a pace than our first few games.
Yes, this is a game where people are thinking about their actions before they actually do them.
Which comes recommended, but is not as fun.
Oh no, I think that your actions should just be fight. You know your mission, you're essentially a Roomba bot.
Everyone's
Roomba's mission is clean, your mission is fight.
Everyone's telepathically linked. Knows when to go in here. Jade, Asta, Dardoch, and Crown all potentially threatening around the red buff here.
They got spotted by that ward, and they haven't... Okay, they just moved now, so there's no way to make a counterplay. Instead, a nice little rotator to the mid lane to make that first break.
I like this. Again, a really critical turret to take. Pretty clean-looking rotation here for OpTic as Rio was forced back. He does now have his Ludens, but not going to save the turret as he does finally rejoin the lane. So 100 Thieves now will come in and try and counter-push. Fake God also maybe considering this Rift Turret, which is going to despawn in a few minutes if they can't take it. So hand it back on as Dardoch is being forced away. It will overall be a trade as Crown will try and wave clear as best he can, but Corki pretty good at that.
Can't stress enough how much I like that move out of OpTic. The fact that you rotate your bottom lane to the mid with the jungler when you know that 100 Thieves have just base and was not ready to respond means that this is a team that's actively making moves to win the game. They're not playing to try to not lose. They're playing to win, and they are looking for the opportunities that 100 Thieves presents to them and taking advantage of them to the fullest.
Crown also has Trinity Force now completed, so his first major item now done. Asta working on item number 2, already has the Zeal plus the Infinity Edge.
The CS advantage that we were praising Fake God over Alarim has been diminished. 139 to 123, that's practically the same at this stage in the game. And Alarim even has 1 kill with that extra gold, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's actually ahead of Fake God here.
Most likely, as Anda does get the crab here and is ready with the Rift Herald. Looks to maybe channel at mid here. That would be the turret you would want to take if you could.
And this is a level 11 Pyke, so let's see if OpTic decides to take a fight. Ryu is going to be the first one there.
Ooh, good. Bit of brusher onto Alorum. He's going to take him out immediately, but the fight's still continuing. Knock him in the backside is going to kill Asta in the Feather Storm. Storm there with a great engage. Very decisive here from 100 Thieves. Fake God's going to take out Dardoch. Gate and Crown going to be chased down as Fake God flashes in to get the last auto attack. And that's a double kill for Jade and 4 kills over the 100 Thieves Academy.
And we were so concerned about Alarim being able to just eliminate so many members, hitting level 11, but Ryu had other plans. He immediately deletes Pyke. He didn't even know what happened to him. 1 shot, and then the fight is over. There's no way OpTic can win without Alarim being involved. Ryu just won that fight for 100 Thieves Academy by a landslide.
It's going to be Mountain Drake to them as well, so they'll collect the Drake for themselves finally. Rift Herald also was charged for a bit of a distraction, but not enough to take the mid turret out, so they'll just chip away at it as we'll watch this fight again.
This is all that matters. 1 shot salary. Surprise! You face check the LeBlanc. You never want to be in that situation. And then OpTic tries to save this, but the Dragon is already aggroed, hitting them, and they're full retreat. Even Gallia had not used his ultimate. Yes, you were able to take down the Kai'Sa, but that Kai'Sa is not that useful at this stage in the game. She only has that Storm Razor. Not a big deal compared to a Pyke that can reset and execute.
Well, OpTic at least trying to stay proactive here after the team fight lost. Gold is evened up though, although OpTic may make that difference as they look to take the top out of turret. Ryu trying to defend. Distorts in to get some poke down, and that is enough to pull them off the wave.
Not bad, but the lane swaps now change the dynamic of this game because Jarvan and Lee will have to continue to move to the top side of the map. And with Baron being up in a minute, 100 Thieves Academy just needs to win one fight decisively, and they can always turn to Baron.
Trying to find the Q there on the gate, but not going to be able to really follow that one up. As OpTic continue to sweep around and keep vision supremacy here in the left side river.
Gotta watch out for Ryu. He just made a game-winning play. We know he's a player that can do so many times. Carry hard games back in the day, that was his thing. I mean, really the only moment that was difficult for him was that play against Faker, but this is a man that took Faker to game 5 when he was coming up, so this is a really skilled player still.
Zed was also a very different champion back then. I remember the last time, like maybe a year or two ago, I rewatched that moment and I was like, huh, Zed showed us it pretty fast.
Yeah, it's high octane.
Very different and very powerful as a champion.
All right, so.
I'm sad that maybe there's people that don't understand that, right?
Well,
but if you don't know it, go see it. Ryu vs Faker.
Well, I guess
iconic League of Legends.
We should at least highlight that back then, Game 5 in Korea would take you to blind.
That's true.
Which ended up with Zed against Zed. Which is really confusing because the shadows are the same color.
Don't worry about it. Totally fine. As lots of trading back and forth here for Baron Vision. As 100 Thieves get in there and clear a lot of that out. Still the Shrine up there from the Crab for OpTic. But certainly waiting to play around the next objective by the looks of things. I think 100 Thieves Academy just saying, you know what, we still need to find a bit more as far as structures go to open up the map a little more, and OpTic trying to stay proactive, but understand they need to be together and use this pike if they're going to try and find any sort of team fight wins. Because this, for example, not going to work out great. Featherstorm there from us, Gate also in there. Ryu going to be the target. Quickness going to tag, and there's a knock-up as well. Feathers pulled back, and that's a kill. Shot down over the Gate as Dardoch was there just in case.
That's a really big play out of OpTic. Gate and Asa surviving. Crown getting engaged on by Prismal. Flashes away so he doesn't get hit by the Galio knockup.
Yeah, 80 carries trying to make plays across the map here because Prismal's in there with a killer instinct. Here comes the wraparound. Dardoch ready with the Cataclysm. Here with Gate, they're going to leave their 80 carry to push here, so OpTic going to try and take a 4v4 with their pike. But Java needs to find the angle. Can Dardoch find the play here?
And Xayah is not around, and she will be basing, not able to secure that tier 2. So, a good response out of 100 Thieves. Yes, you lose Ryu that had a spree, but at least you got that mid lane trait, which is going to make a world of difference with this upcoming Ocean Drake and Baron Vision.
Yeah, it felt like one of the big goals here for 100 Thieves was just to even up the structures and keep the same areas of the map open. So now the top half's completely opened up around the Baron. Fake God's going to slap down this control ward, and 100 Thieves can start threatening that objective.
Ooh, will Dardoch use flag in here? Yes.
Does see stunt and gets the rest of the news as well. Crown busy catching a wave there in the bottom lane, so OpTic just waiting to set things up here.
So a key power spike that 100 Thieves is waiting on is going to be that Ginsu's Rage Blade on Prismal. That's going to make that Baron take super fast, objectives, taking down tanky targets like the Jarvan. So I think they just want to get that item before they really commit to a big fight because it's so close and they already have a mountain. It diminishes the risk necessary to make a game-winning play because if you can just secure that Baron, you're in good hands considering you've got Jace to poke.
Obviously Crown almost finishing off the bottom outer turret, I believe, so able to get some nice solo pressure. Ryu does have 2 items completed, but can't really stand toe-to-toe, especially when OpTic have the advantage, can get down the bottom lane a little bit faster. Also an Ocean Drake up means that I think that was OpTic we're looking to play for, but Fake God's taken matters into his own hands and is also side laning there in top lane, was able to take down the turret and keep the structures even.
Well, I think Ryu is going to be playing a lot more cautiously now after having given over that kill to Asta. He doesn't want to be surprised again, and looks like they might be going onto Fake God. Dardoch continues to chase.
Yeah, 4v1 right now for Fake God. Good flash, but Gate there follows up with a recombo. And Fake God's going to go down. That's a really nice pick there for OpTic. Drake also goes over as Crown collects it, and Corki ready with the TP and maybe the package, as OpTic may look to get the Baron here.
That's pretty funny, the recombo. But yeah, that's OpTic doing the same thing that we saw them early on in the game, which is making 2 cross-map plays at once. Such a rare sight to see, but they've been pulling it off just fine.
Well, of note, Alorum did commit his ultimate in that last play. Just heard him use it to take down a few minions, so does not have that available for a minute-ish. See if they can wait enough time to maybe try and take another fight, or if they feel confident enough to just surge in towards the Baron area. Probably not, given that Fake God's now respawned. It is a big push and pull for this first major objective.
Yeah, now we have a really big item completed for OpTic, with Dardoch having that stone plate onto the Jarvan, making that shield even more obnoxious. But he just wants to get in there, and Teamfight wanted to have those 3 members, and when you activate that passive, you are just almost unkillable.
I think Dardoch just kind of faking that, hoping to get maybe a more major cooldown out of Prismal. OpTic still continuing to apply pressure here in mid lane. Certainly not shy about going in. Although they will have to watch out, as the Kai'Sa does have that Rage Blade you alluded to earlier.
Yeah, there's not the fastest Baron out of OpTic, so 100 Thieves is not hard pressed to try to answer the vision in the Baron side. Instead, they will prioritize mid lane shove, which then means that they can always go back into the Baron and know that OpTic will have to either lose CS or concede vision.
Still such a big battle here for vision on the left-hand side. Crown also staying pretty long in these side lanes, kind of abusing the teleport he has access to. Forcing pressure into the side lanes and then rejoining his team. Also getting a lot of farm as a result as Ryu gonna dash in for some poke. Maybe actually gonna get engaged on here. Gaken looks to tag him with the quickness, does find it!
This team is just way too dangerous for you to play LeBlanc like that. The second he goes in, Rakan can answer, even the Jarvan can, so can Alarim. Pretty much every member can lock him down. And the hook onto Galio goes for a play.
Oh, actually might have started the team fight out. Never mind, Alorum shuts that down. Finding the first dunk with death from below. Alorum flashing in, finds the hook on Ander. And shots there from the Corki get him pretty low on health, but they are trying to push here and crack open the midsection of the map.
Pyke still has his ultimate, so they can go for some really nasty executions here.
Here comes Crown, inhibitor exposed. Alorum ult did run out, so it does not have it now as a huge amount of poke from Prismal. Tries to snipe Dardoch. Featherstorm out though from Asta. And the feather pull back means that they should be okay as Crown shooting Fake God needed maybe 1 or 2 more autos to finish off that kill.
It just shows you how much damage Fake God can deal right now to a lot of these squishy members. It's just that 100 Thieves has never gotten to the position where they can poke first. Ryu goes for a little bit of a cheeky W over the wall, but Jarvan follows up, Gate follows up, Alarim. LeBlanc just has to play so differently here against this composition, and I just don't think that Ryu has the practice against it, because who on earth does? No one plays Pyke top, at least not right now.
Oh, Alorum, sneaky, gonna follow him in as well, finds the stun, Dardoch is there. Kick there from Ander, already used the cataclysm into the dunk there from the Pyke, and that's gonna be a very straightforward Baron.
That is a really powerful Pyke, and now they're going to go for that Baron. There's no way that there's a Baron steal. There's no one even close to present a Shock Blast to steal. Only Ryu could look for it. The odds of him pulling this off are so small. I just don't think he even go for it.
Yeah, it's just Fake God trying to split push and get something back. Alorum even had the option to swap to Smite with Spellbook, but doesn't even need it. As Fake God at least gets the tier 2 turret here in bot lane, but OpTic have just kind of slowly but surely built themselves up a lead.
That's a plastic consolation prize for them. That tier 2 is not what you wanted, and now they're going to be looking for maybe Prismal, who doesn't have flash. Dardoch luckily doesn't have Cataclysm, but his flash is always up.
Oh, Crown does so much damage.
If that rocket hit, he's dead.
Yeah, that would have killed. I don't know if Ryu should be face-checking such a powerful Corki. Infinity Edge is on the way for Crown, not even done, and Ryu cannot stand toe-to-toe. We're going to have Alorum catch the bottom lane. He should have TP to swap to if he needs it. And Asta and Gate able to take the turret down as the Baron power play rampage continues here for OpTic Academy.
They are going to base first, and it looks like that base will prioritize the bottom part of the map because the dragon is up. So it's not like you want to spend some of your Baron taking down dragons. You always want to do it on the retreat. But if you reset already, you could go for it.
Also have the supers pushing in mid as well from the early inhibitor take. 100 Thieves. Not many angles for them to look for here. Dardock going to put the ward down. Will get cleared out right away, but OpTic just setting up these waves as Alorum does get minions crashing in towards this tier 2, and 100 Thieves probably not looking to defend this tier 2.
So they're doing these right, OpTic. Not going for the dragon right away, making sure that you get the absolute most value out of Baron with the waves crashing. Because if you don't get this wave, and if you had gone for the dragon, you'd have to wait for the next one. And that's about 30 seconds worth of time, and you just don't want to give that away when you're in such a momentum.
Oh, double knock up there from Gate. Nice hook there from Alorum to start it off, and they've got a root in the front side. That's going to be a dead Galio. There's now Dardock going to dunk on the other side. Into the stopwatch he goes. The rest of the team following in. Alorum finds the first execute. This inhibitor will be forfeit as well. It's 3v5 right now for 100 Thieves Academy.
This Pyke is so darn strong, Alorum. I think you found your new main, my friend. You got to stick to this champion.
Oh!
7-1 gets another one.
Killing Ryu there. Still has the ulti ready to go. Maybe it's time for a bit of fun in the fountain. But the Nexus will be exposed, and OpTic Academy are going to finish off the job. 100 Thieves cannot withstand the Pyke.
It was so strong. He did really well in the early laning phase. A nice gank to get him back into the game, but then found the pick with Dardock to get the Baron, and the game was over from that point on.
And you know what? We did see Pyke already from Colin playing in support in the very fun comp that CLG put together that surprised us and even TSM Academy. But it is very different when your Pyke is able to get gold.
That's right. We want to see Pyke that can start pushing waves, that can start having that crazy amount of damage, which increases the HP that you can execute. And when you got a champion like Corki that deals so much initial poke, he gets one rocket and auto attack, and Pyke is executing you right away. So you have to itemize MR and HP, and it just doesn't make sense for you, and you just die.
And that's pretty much how the team fights went, but we'll see when we do pull up some highlights in just a few moments. Super solid game there from OpTic. I feel like they never really panicked. You mentioned that, yes, we expect the Pyke to fall behind, but never really felt in too much danger. Dardock had some really great moments of parting, and this dive was nice as well from OpTic, kind of winning often on both sides of the rift.
It was the cross-map play, and this is an engage onto Crown that we thought could be a little bit close, but the Skirmisher Saber does come through. And this was, again, Ryu on 100 Thieves making a crazy play. When we saw Ryu playing like this, we thought, whoo, 100 Thieves, they might have something to say about this game. It was a almost complete ace out of them. Unfortunately, though, this was the last good play that we saw out of 100 Thieves, because from that point on, it was all about OpTic, finding pick after pick in the top lane around Baron, and then the final fight around the bottom inhibitor. It gets a hook onto Galio, draws him back, and the engage continues because he gets executed. Another hook from Alorum secures the chase. He was on point today.
As you can see, kind of slow going for almost 20 minutes in that game, but did not take much longer. As soon as OpTic took over and they pretty much got that Baron, game ended in about that first play.
Yeah. And I know that, yes, Alorum only did 8,000 damage, but that's what Pyke does. You're not worried about the end game graphs. You're worried about actually winning. That is what really counts at the end of the day.
Important to note that a lot of that damage was the end of people's health bars.
Yes.
And doing a lot of damage is nice, but getting kills is the thing that really matters when you're doing damage.
It's not kill steal when you do that much damage.
That's true. You even give everyone a little bit of extra gold. Well, at the end of the day, let's have a look at the standings as they are after the games we've seen. Clutch, the only 2-0 team, because Team Liquid and TSM will play each other after LCS on Sunday, but it's Clutch, TL, TSM, and all looking at the top with still undefeated records. 100 Thieves and FlyQuest still chasing their first win here, with surprisingly Cloud9 Academy dropping a game here in only week 1.
But they dropped it to a Clutch that looked crazy good today. Joey came up with 100% kill participation in a game where his team had about 30 kills. Just a nutty stat altogether. That's a game where if you want to watch what Rakan does best, you go watch Clutch Gaming Academy, Joey.
Well, Academy has it wrapped this week, which means the LCS is just around the corner. Tomorrow, you'll see the same matchups with the LCS players you know and love. We'll kick things off with Cloud9 and FlyQuest, and then when TSM and Liquid will do battle against each other, which should be fun to watch.
Yeah, that's right. That is a rematch, so I can't wait to see that one. Unfortunately, we only get one game. If it were up to me, I'd put these teams against each other for weeks. I just want to see them play.
Well, if you liked it that much, a reminder that we'll also have an Academy Showcase game on Sunday where TSM Academy and Team Liquid Academy will face off. So
Their
Crumbs,
little brother is just fighting as well.
there you go. You can have that. That's all you get until we play them again at the end of the season. For myself, Crumbso, and the entire Academy crew, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.